Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Dramatic Soprano Cooking. If you haven't guessed from my gender-bending Billy attire, we will be making Red Velvet Tombstone Cake. Yum. For this recipe, you're gonna need a cup of butter, a cup of granite sugar. Granite sugar? I don't know, I've been dead a while. 2 eggs, or unborn chickens. Vanilla extract that looks like a potion bottle. The recipe does call for Dutch pressed cocoa powder, but I'm hoping this will do. Some baking soda and kosher salt. Don't forget this repels witches, just in case. You don't want to end up like Billy. Buttermilk. Distilled white vinegar, red food coloring, and that's it! Try not to lose a finger. First thing you gotta do is preheat the oven to 350 and grease your cake pan with some hangman's fat. Get a cup of sugar. And your cup of butter. 2 sticks. Make sure it's probably at room temperature before you try this at home. And you beat it until soft and fluffy. I'm no expert, but I say that looks pretty soft and fluffy. Now add your eggs. 1 at a time. Then a teaspoon of your vanilla and blend well. I would witch laugh like I've done in the other Hocus Pocus videos, but I don't feel that's Billy's style. It's a little more cool. Now in a separate bowl, we're gonna mix our other ingredients. See, that's more Billy's thing. Been dead a while. So I forgot to mention something in the ingredients. You're gonna need some flour too. In fact, you're gonna need 2.5 cups. 1/4 cup of your cocoa powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt. You're gonna combine half of the wet and dry ingredients together. Mix it, and then add the other half. That clumps up nice and good, just like graveyard dirt. Now add 1 cup of buttermilk. Oh man, I feel like I'm in elementary school again. I've always been bad at opening carts like this. And of course, Billy wouldn't know how to open one of these. He just got it straight from the cow, I assume, when he was alive. Then 1 tablespoon of distilled vinegar. I've never put that in a cake before. Interesting. And then you need 2 teaspoons of your red food coloring. Oh, definitely Halloween-y right now. Blood! Something that Billy doesn't eat. He's a good zombie. Oh my gosh, it's red. Now you all know this wouldn't be a Dramatic Soprano Tries Cooking unless I messed up. This is like plant-based food coloring, which when you read the back, it is suggested not to use in high heat baking conditions, which would be a cake. Also, it's expired, so we're gonna start over. We'll use my handy dandy neon ones. It'll bake pink cake instead. And here I was thinking, what am I gonna do with all this buttermilk? After some deliberation, I have decided to throw away the other food coloring thing I had because I used that in my very second video over a year ago. So that may not be good either. So I guess we're just having chocolate cake instead of red velvet cake. You know what I'll call it? I'll call it graveyard cake. Now you're gonna pop this bad boy into the oven for 25 to 35 minutes. While that's baking, I'm gonna clean this up for the second time today so that I can make the cream cheese frosting that's listed. I've never made homemade cream cheese frosting. It should be a delightfully spooky time. Squeaky clean. Pretty good for a corpse. For the cream cheese frosting, you're gonna need 2. I did that myself, it did not come that way. 8-ounce packets of cream cheese. Then you need a stick of softened butter. Make sure it's unsalted so the witches can have some. 4 cups of powdered sugar, vanilla, and some salt because, you know what, I take it back. Witches don't get cake. At least witches that sew dead people's mouths together. Looking at you, Sanderson sisters. Softened butter and cream cheese. Pop a powdered sugar and mix. Woo! Now a teaspoon of vanilla and a half teaspoon of salt. Gotta keep those witches away. And mix. Then it says to add 3 more cups of powdered sugar. Dear Lord, if Billy wasn't already dead, this will kill him. But sweetly. This is some really, really good frosting. There is definitely enough sugar in here though to rise the dead. No Sanderson sisters required. Time to let it cool so we can do the funnest part, decoration. Now that the gravestone has cooled, I thought I'm gonna try and decorate it like Billy's gravestone, which looks like that. Wish me luck. I've decided maybe Billy needs a little bit of courage. I feel Billy would be a rum drinker, you know? He kind of has a pirate vibe going on. Alright, we're ready. Since I have no food color and dye anymore, I'm gonna try and use these silver sprinkles, which I think I actually used last year on the book. The book! That's all the more gray it's gonna get, but you know what? Since it is a gravestone, I'm gonna add some grass at the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Also, taking a page out of last year's book brownie, I rebought this frosting because it's just so easy to decorate with. Because if you see my unicorn video, you know I'm horrible with piping bags. I realized this worked really well for the book, but it's not working so well for spelling words because it's too chunky. You live and you learn. Next Halloween, I guess. I should have gotten those gel frosting thingies. Ah! Come on, E. There we go. I tried. I gave it my best effort. It looks nothing like his tombstone. I tried. We're reunited and it feels so good. Billy has his tombstone back. He can rest in peace forever now. On further thought, I should have just stuck with what they came up with. I could have done that. As always, here's the little saying. I love the little descriptions. Did you know that hallowed means sacred or consecrated? It comes from hollow, which in turn comes from the Middle English Halloween. Most church cemeteries have been consecrated, so they are in fact hallowed ground. This tombstone cake, on the other hand, has not been blessed. No, it hasn't. It took me 2 tries. So it won't turn any witches to stone, but it will make your mouth water. If you don't like cream cheese frosting, a simple buttercream will work just as well. As you can see, mine is not red velvet because I didn't have food coloring, because something always goes wrong in my shows. Not always, but a lot. All right, let's see how it tastes. I took a piece of the grass. That's good cake. That's a solid chocolate cake. The cream cheese frosting is to die for. I've never made homemade cream cheese frosting. It is so much better than like the Pillsbury Doughboy can thing. Yeah, if you have food coloring, voila, red velvet. The frosting really makes the whole cake. I can't emphasize it enough. The cake is good itself, but the frosting is just like, mwah. Don't skimp out on the frosting. Don't do what they told you there. Make their frosting. It's so good. If you like this episode, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.